Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Munch, bringing you guys another video. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to clean your dirt bike or your Apollo 125cc or the 250cc. As you guys can see, they're both pretty dirty. I mean, this one is my boy's. We're not gonna clean that one. We're just gonna be cleaning mine. And this is basically what I do after every single ride of my bike. So I always clean it after every ride. I don't usually let it sit, but this time, this has been sitting for I think 3 or 4 days. So it's been a while. I've actually rode it or cleaned it or anything like that. So we do have to clean it up. And that's what I'm gonna be showing you guys in today's video, is what I do after every single ride to make sure that my Apollo lasts as long as I possibly can. With that being said, let's pull it out of the garage, show you what it looks like, and then start from there. So now that we got the bike up here, you can actually see how dirty the bike actually is. As you can see, there's just dirt, dried up mud everywhere within the bike, on the back spring, on the back. The chain is kind of dirty, stuff like that. Everything about this is pretty bad. Even the front rim, as you guys can see, has some dirt on it. Now again, I usually do this cleaning method every single time I'm done riding, so that way my bike stays clean. We're gonna clean this out, try our best to clean the air filter or whatever you guys want to call it, and just make sure that we take care of this bike and maintain it so it lasts us as long as we possibly can. But it is pretty dirty. We're gonna take before and after pictures. As you can see, the exhaust, if you look up underneath it, it's kind of not, the lighting isn't the best in the world, so let me turn on my flashlight real quick. As you guys can see, it's pretty filthy underneath the bottom side of the bike. It's pretty bad, so we're gonna clean it up, make sure it looks good, and then show you guys how I do it step by step. It's a little bit of a process, but if you care for your bike, you'll do it. Now the first thing that you're gonna want to do is take off the air filter, so that way nothing gets inside the carburetor or anything like that. You could just use a flathead screwdriver or a Phillips head. Take off this carburetor, you untwist the little the tightening strap on one side. Go ahead and pull this. Oh, this is filthy, man. Go ahead and pull it off. As you can see, it's hanging. We're gonna end up putting a bag over this. If you can see, you have your choke. You can open it fully or close it fully. I would close it fully just so that way it prevents water from getting in there. It can get in there still, so we're gonna go ahead and put something around this, zip tie it, and then that way, hopefully, if you guys can see, hopefully if we zip tie it or something like that, no water's gonna get in there or anything bad. So that's just what we're gonna do to protect the carburetor, which is, it's a cheap version. As for this, we're gonna take this completely off of here and then bring it over to the garage, and we'll clean that separately. And then after we do that, it's pretty good. I mean, we still have electrical equipment that we have to mess with, but other than that, I mean, it's still pretty fine. After you have that on it, all you gotta do is take off the panels. So we're gonna take off this back panel, or the side panels on both sides of the back panel, and then we're gonna take off the seat, and I'll show you guys how to do that. So for the side panel, it's pretty simple. There's just one, and I think that's actually it. There might be just one bolt here. These are for the back panel and the seat and stuff. But the bike's gonna get really naked really soon, but it's gonna help us be able to see everything on the inside so we can actually really clean it. This part is really easy. It sounds hard, but it's easier than you think. We're also gonna take off this panel, which on this one, it's this top one, and then there's a secret little one right here. As you guys can see, you take that off as well. Now for the back part of the bike, this is easy. The side fender, as you can see, opens it up a lot more. You can actually see the gas tank, clean that up. But it's just this one bolt on this side, one on this side, and then once you pull it off, the seat is pretty simple as well. As you can see under here, it's kind of dark, but there's gonna be 2 bolts down here, which once we get this top fender off, that rear fender, maybe we'll be able to see it a little bit easier, but there are 2 bolts back there. So once you take off the actual seat part, the back fender, there is one more screw right here. That's why I was not able to get it. So there's 2 on the side and then one more at the very bottom. You have to take off to actually get the back fender off, which pretty easy. I just forgot about this one. I didn't see it, but second I took the seat off, I found it. Really simple, really easy. So now that we have the bike completely stripped off, completely naked, we got the panels over here to the side. As you guys can see, pretty dirty panels, especially the rear one, really dirty. And the bike looks pretty goofy, actually. It looks really small. You can actually see the size of the bike once you take everything off, but it's pretty dirty down there. As you guys can see, there's just mud, dirt, grime everywhere on it, so we're gonna have to clean this up. So now that we got the panels taken off, just try to avoid the electrical wiring over here and in the front over there. But besides that, you're ready to go. So the first thing we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna wanna get it wet, let it so the dirt, the old mud and stuff that's stuck to it can actually get a little bit loose. And then we're gonna power wash it down, spray it down, stuff like that, and I'll show you guys steps on what to do with that. Now for starters, let me show you some of the products that I actually use for the bike. So this BioWash stuff is actually really good. I'm gonna get the bike wet and then spray that on it, let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes, then spray the bike down again and just repeat the steps until the bike is clean. All these cans that you see are kind of for the chain. It's chain lube, chain cleaner, and then multi-purpose penetration lube for the chain or anything like that. So we're gonna use all that stuff on here. We're gonna power wash. Now you can do it without a power washer. You're just gonna wanna use a high pressure hose or something like that, but power washer makes it a little bit easier, so we're gonna use that for this project. So again, first steps we're gonna wanna do is just spray the bike down, get everything nice and wet, so that way it actually, you can actually try to push some of the thick stuff off with your high pressure hose from the start. And then it'll make things a little bit easier. As you can see, just this hose alone is getting off a lot of the mud and grime and stuff like that, but it is making it wet, so it's gonna make it harder to see where the dirt is exactly. But like the big stuff like this, you can go ahead and try and spray it off. Hopefully it'll get it off. But we're just getting the whole bike wet so it can all soak in, and then we're gonna spray it down. Get the other side as well. Get this other side. And it already looks pretty clean just by rinsing it down, but then again, it's how clean you want it to be. You can go ahead and wash these down too. Get them a little wet. Get all the thick dirt and mud off of it first, and then let the solution do the rest of it for you. So this is where we use this BioWash solution here, and we just spray the entire bike down. So you can start from the front. Just go ahead and spray. Be friendly with it. Don't be scared to use this, because this stuff is actually what gets the job done, makes things easier for you. So the more you use, the easier it'll be. But then again, if you don't have too much money, kind of conserve it. Make sure you're actually not wasting it or anything like that. Just gonna spray a nice thick coat on everything that we see. Come to the other side, get the brakes. A lot of people miss under this fender, which I already missed it when it came to getting it wet, so I'm gonna spray it down a little bit. But it's looking good. It looks like we got the whole bike sprayed down. So now we just gotta wait 10 minutes. While we're waiting, we can set up the power washer and just let this do its magic. And hopefully it looks good. This stuff, I love this stuff. Now that it's sitting, we're gonna actually take the bike off of this little stand and we're gonna lay it on its side so we can actually get better angles and stuff like that and hit underneath the bike a little bit. So let me show you exactly how we're gonna set that up. Hopefully this camera angle actually gets it so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. So if you guys can see, laid it down on the little spoke right here. That's where it's sitting on, not the gas tank or anything like that. But now we can actually get the underside of the bike, spray it down a little bit more with BioWash, and then start power washing it. Alright guys, now that we have it completely sprayed off, power washed down, you can see how much cleaner the bike actually is. Now it still has some spots that needs touching up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just hit it with a normal hose. We're gonna spray it down one more time with one layer of this bio wash on top. Let it sit for a second. And then we're gonna hit it with the normal hose. There is a storm coming and it is getting dark, so hopefully we can finish it. I can hear thunder over there, but hopefully we can finish this in time. Now we have this side. We're gonna spray these panels now. Spray this side down. Make sure these are actually all cleaned up, looking nice. So spray it down with some bio wash. Let the bio wash do its work on it. You can scrub it if you want. I might actually scrub the whole bike with this thing over here, but you want to make sure that it's wet. Your sponge is wet, kind of lubricates it a little bit, so get it nice, a little bit of wetness in it. I suggest spraying a little bit of bio wash on it, just the top part of it, and then scrubbing stuff down like this. Go ahead and scrub it down. Make sure none of the dirt's staying on it. Pretty easy stuff, you guys. It's just gonna take time after every ride. That's why I don't usually ride if I'm gonna go ride for like maybe an hour only. I won't try to hit too much dirt trails. I just ride for fun of it. So that way I'm not stuck cleaning it after just an hour of riding. It's usually after heavy rides, like I'll ride for maybe 4 hours or 5 hours or something like that. Or a whole day out of riding. Then it comes back dirty, and then this is the standard cleanup. But if I just go ride it down the street, I don't do this every single time. Don't worry guys, you don't have to stress about that. That's not a problem. That's not something that you really want to do every time. Because I do admit this is a lot of work, but it does help your bike last a little bit longer. And then I'm gonna scrub these down too. As well, the gas tank. Make sure the tank's nice and clean. Make sure these are nice and clean. These are kind of hard to hit if you're not scrubbing them with just a hose because they're kind of thin. So that's why scrubbing it is going to help a lot. And again, it's not like I'm doing a hard press. As you can see, I'm not sitting on the spot for too long. I'm just a quick swipe with the exhaust. After you get that, just go hit it one more time with the hose. Put all the panels back on, and then the bike should be clean. This is just the last step of just getting all that remaining last bio wash off of the bike, making sure it's nice and clean, and then I'll show you guys how to like lube the chain and stuff like that. Alright guys, what's going on? It's the next day. It literally started raining. It got too dark to show you guys anything, but I didn't do any other steps besides putting the panels back on the bike. And as you guys can see, the bike is a lot cleaner. It still does look a little bit dirty, but that's why we're gonna have some stuff to actually put on it. But today I'm gonna show you, actually now in this video, I'm gonna show you guys how to actually clean your chain and make sure your chain is actually pretty tight. You do that by these back here. I can show you guys that in another video. If you want to know, let me know in the comment section below how to do like maintenance on the bike. So we haven't put our filter on yet. That's still wet, so we're gonna wait on that. But for now, let's lube and grease our chain up, clean it up a little bit, and then yeah, we can get this to actually shine and look black because it's kind of like gray. I don't know if you guys can tell. It's kind of gray. Looks weird. Looks bad. So we're gonna make that shine a little bit more. But the bike looks good. I mean, the tires are dirty, but that's a dirt bike. You don't want the tires to be like stupid clean and shiny and stuff like that because you're gonna ride it again. So again, what I use to actually clean the chain, the first thing I'm gonna use is the chain cleaner. I'll put the stuff on the bike so you guys can actually see. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna use is this chain cleaner. We're gonna chain clean it, then we're gonna use the lube, then we're gonna multi-purpose penetration lube, and we're also gonna spray this on other parts of the bike too as well. So we have this tool right here. This tool is actually really good because you spin the tire, literally locks on and just brushes it down for you. So it's really good tool. So you could just keep it there, spin the tire, and it'll clean it for you. The first thing we're gonna do is spray it down. So as you guys can see, the chain's now clean. All the dirt and grime are off the chain. Now we just gotta lube it up, which is pretty much the same thing. We're done using this wire brush. We're gonna go rinse this off with water. That way it doesn't have all the nasty gunk and lube in it. So now we're gonna lube the chain up, and then we're gonna spray the multi-purpose penetration lube after this. Next up, we're gonna use this. This is gonna be sprayed actually all over the bike. It kind of gives it a shine. It's basically, if you guys can read, it says, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it says displaces moisture, excellent fogging, oil, freeze, corroded parts. And on the back of it, it says something about like preventing rust and stuff like that. So we can spray it on the chain, we can spray it everywhere else. I like to spray it on the whole thing. It doesn't hurt the bike, but it does give it a nice shine on anything black. So like stuff like this, I like to spray it on. So that way it's got a nice gloss shine to it. And it's not meant for this part. I would watch the brakes. Don't spray the brakes down. But just spray everything else. Gives it a nice black shine. So now it actually looks really clean. And then we're gonna spray the chain as well. So when I spray it, I spray this top part while I'm spinning it so it gets to the top part of the chain, and then I'll spray this top part once I get a full rotation, because this will get the bottom part that we can't really reach down here. So pretty easy. Other than that, that's it. I'm just gonna wipe this down so it's not like a thick layer of residue, and that's pretty much it. Now the bike's clean. You can work on the tires separately, but I'm happy with this. This is all I do to clean the bike. Very simple, very easy, and the bike is well maintained. All right, y'all, got the carburetor on. The bike's running. It runs smooth. It sounds smooth. It was smoking a little bit down here, but I think that's just because the water, like right here, it's smoking. But that's because the water that's on the pipe, or the lube that I sprayed on it, probably is just burning. But once it burns away, it looks like it's good. It revs good. It started on first kick, so the bike looks to be good. It looks to be in good condition, ready to ride again. And just like that, you can take care of the bike every day, just like that. I don't know if you can hear me over the noise of the bike, but yeah. But there you guys have it. That is how I keep up with my bike after every single ride. Let me show you actually this back part, because this part was filthy, if you guys remember. Very filthy back here, but now it's actually really clean. You can see it. It looks good. So if you guys want, I can link the stuff in the description below of this video so you guys can actually buy it, purchase it if you want to keep care of your bike. The BioWash is a highly recommended, and then chain lube and chain cleaner, just because you want to keep that chain nice. But I have already replaced one thing on it. I do want to replace the carburetor, because a lot of people said this one sucks. This little Chinese one sucks, so I do want to replace this eventually. But I did already replace the gear shifter, just because my other one bent inwards when I fell, so I had to get a new one, replace it. This one's pretty nice. I like it. Very cheap, but it works. But that's it for the video, you guys. If you do like this video, subscribe if you want to see more Apollo videos or beginner bike videos on what to do to maintain the bike and how good the Apollo is. My next video, I'm going to do 5 things that I dislike about the Apollo 125, and then after that we'll do 5 things that I like about it. So guys, with that being said, I'll end the video here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.